Good morning, y'all. Oh, child, my mic is all the way over here. Good morning, y'all. Happy Thursday. Thank you for coming to watch another What Else is Going On, aka We Go Podcast YouTube video. I'm your girl, your host, Taria. I'm about to go hit this road, y'all. I had my husband turn my car on before he left, y'all. I think that might have been like 30 minutes ago. It's still out there warming up. I'm about to get in, but I wanted to come and talk to y'all about some things that I saw yesterday and didn't get to talk to y'all about them. So we're going to talk about them today. Again, y'all already know, y'all may have already heard what was going on, but I want to talk to y'all as a community. First up, Doechii. The internet, I won't say all the internet, some internet users were in an uproar because of Doechii and the umbrella situation at the Met Gala. For those of you that don't know, Doechii was at the Met Gala. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure none of my alarms went off. Doechii was at the Met Gala and didn't want her hair to get wet. She had a beautiful afro. And listen, us black girls know, especially natural, you pick that hair out, one drop of water, it goes from 12 inches to 2.5. So some people understood that. Some people thought she was really rude to the staff. I want to know what y'all think. Again, I know y'all have probably seen this already, but we're going to talk about it together. Let me know what y'all think about Doechii. I'm pulling it up real quick. What is going on? Here we go. All right. Let's see. I want us to hear it from the beginning up. All right, here we go. That was her response. Let's get into it.
Oh no, oh no. Yes, I'm ready. Give me another, no, stop. Give me another umbrella, now. Another one, right there. And another, whoa. I need another one.
Another umbrella.
Excuse me. I need four fucking umbrellas.
Two more umbrellas.
Because they're trying to sleep there. The umbrella. Anybody, right there.
Two more umbrellas.
So that's Doechii yelling.
Because they're going to try to sleep there. Umbrella. Anybody, right there.
Two more umbrellas.
They said no. They said the lobby would be clear.
And do not let that fucking guy with the car
We're pulling over and then you tell us to wait. Okay.
right now and
Yeah, watch the step.
Watch the step. Shut.
Don't let her hair get wet.
Move this umbrella.
Oh no, oh no.
Yes, I'm ready.
So what happened there was the lobby, you hear somebody saying that they said the lobby was supposed to be clear and she didn't want anybody to see her outfit. So she's yelling, give me an umbrella and another one and another one.
Umbrellas.
I don't want these people seeing me. I got it. Move the umbrella. Are you blocking it? Right now. Yes.
You're blocked. You're blocked.
Yes.
So that's her saying, I don't want these people seeing me. Are you blocking it?
Somebody fired.
I don't want these people seeing me. I got it. Move the umbrella. Are you blocking it? Right now. Yes.
You're blocked.
You're blocked.
Yes.
Oh,
So
somebody fired.
let's get and you hear them say somebody's fired. So people were saying not enough people are talking about how disrespectful Doechii is being in this video. Talk about dystopian. Who the F treats staff members like this? Somebody else said just plain mean. Somebody said when it's Chappelle yelling to everybody and they mama, y'all come up with every excuse out of the book. Now when it's Doechii, suddenly she's a demon. Oh, save it. Somebody else said somebody else said, I'm most deaf a Doechii apologist because all I hear is the diva on assignment, making sure people successfully do the job they were hired to do. So Doechii herself came forward. Now, I'm not going to play the song, but she's playing Easy Like Sunday Morning. Easy like Sunday morning. And she says, God forbid a girl needs more umbrellas. That was her response. And then she says, and all jokes aside, I'm so proud of my glam team and the LV team for an incredible night. We've been dreaming about this Met for a long time, and the theme this year is in such alignment with who I am, what I stand for. It's nothing but God that this year was our debut. Everyone killed it. We nailed the theme, and the time was had with an umbrella. This cracked me up. All that for a short set and penny loafers was absurd. And then somebody said, y'all always turn against the underdog when they get too famous. I watched y'all do it to Megan, Cardi, Chloe, Bailey, and so many other women. So sad. Do y'all agree? Because I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of thinking like, wow, they loved her. Everybody was loving her, and then this incident, it was boom, she's the worst person, she's the worst person. Now listen, people can call out whether, okay, oh, I think that was rude. I feel like she was rude. That's one thing. But some people are acting like she is the antichrist. Like, y'all, come on. I get it. Some people may think it's rude. Then some people said that she was just a boss handling her business. To me, at first, I was like, "Oh, she sounded like a little bit gruff," but at the same time, I guess a lot was going on, and she was like, "Oh, okay, I need an umbrella. I need an umbrella. I don't want people to see me." I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think it was a little bit of both. Like, I think it was a little bit of nervousness, overstimulation that kind of caused her to react that way. Especially if she's wanting to keep this short set and penny loafers outfit. That took me out. I'm sorry. Secretive, right? Her reveal was to be on the red carpet, not in the lobby. And then you get down there and boom, the lobby is not clear. So I could see how she would want to react that way. But then I also see where people are saying, oh, that sounded a little bit like, girl, calm down just a little bit. But y'all let me know what y'all think. Next up, I want to get into Sutton. So we got into Sutton a little bit yesterday. She was on Jeff Lewis's show on Radio Andy. And yesterday we talked about her and Avi, how her and Avi are no longer working together. And she said they parted ways, but she was very unclear on who initiated. And I thought, well, maybe Avi walked away, maybe himself. And she was embarrassed to say it. I don't know. So it was kind of like, okay, on the show, even though Avi wasn't a cast member, she had Avi, right? And then she had Garcelle. Now she has neither. Well, also in that interview, she spoke on her and Garcelle. I'll say this. I've not always been the biggest fan of Jeff Lewis. There are some things he said during the Black Lives Matter protest when I was just looked at him sideways. So I used to be subscribed to his channel, but just for me, I was like, this ain't somebody I'm gonna be listening to every day. But I'm not gonna lie and say that some of his interviews aren't interesting, aren't funny, what have you, whatever. But I love Doug, and I liked how him and Doug were being pointed in their questions. They weren't letting Sutton slide, whether it was about Avi or whether it was about Garcelle. And that's what I like about them interviewing people. They get right to it. They're not tiptoeing, pee-popping around the question. They're asking the question. So they asked her about her relationship with Garcelle, and I want y'all to see what she had to say.
Very disappointed that Garcelle is no longer.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think? She called you all assholes, and she also unfollowed all of you.
Yeah.
Did she follow you again or no?
I don't pay attention. As Doug mentioned earlier this morning, I am terrible on the Instagram. I do not pay attention to if somebody's followed me, or I wouldn't even know how to do that. So
she didn't unfollow everybody. She kept Jennifer Tilly and Kathy Hilton, Garcelle,
who are not full time, by the way.
Okay.
But weren't you closest to her?
Very.
So obviously she's upset with you if she's unfollowed you.
Well, okay.
Have you guys spoken?
We spoke the day that she made her announcement. Yeah.
How was that conversation?
It was, she's just said something. I couldn't talk to anybody because I knew that you would convince me not to leave. Yeah, that's very true.
You said recently, I can only imagine that she needs a clean break right now. I love her, and I'm giving her the space she needs. Did Avi? Oh, I was going to ask if Avi wrote that, but did you write that? Who wrote that?
That statement.
I think I said it.
It's Keats.
Wow. Do you feel like I'm not privy to all of what happens behind the scenes, but it seems from, I'm an avid watcher, and it seems like she was most hurt by you.
I'm sorry
Come
for
on,
that.
Jeff.
I would never want to hurt Garcelle intentionally, so I'm sorry that she feels that way, and I'm sorry, that it went down like that. I hope that I can rectify things later. Sometimes I think when you're really close with someone and you get hurt in the relationship, sometimes you need some time away to heal, and I'm hoping that we can rectify and fix everything.
do you think that there's a part of you that really wants to be liked by the whole cast? And as a result, you may overlook maybe the people that are really closest to you and most loyal, like Garcelle. Because I feel like she would have taken a bullet for you. Like I found her to be very incredibly loyal to you.
Look at that conversation she had with Reba, right? Where
Yeah.
I have to stop it and say that was very pointed. And that's what I mean when I say I like about their interview style, because he knows that was a very, very pointed question. And then Doug coming in saying, yeah, she had that conversation with Reba.
even
Yeah.
took up
But you know, I also met with Garcelle's family, and
Right, but maybe so you agree that Garcelle is probably most
right,
hurt by
that,
you.
that proves the point that you were the closest with her.
I think that, you know, down the road, Garcelle and I just need to have a really long, thoughtful conversation that's private. But, you know, I just hate that. I hate that this has happened.
Yeah. But it's too
Garcelle
bad
was a very good friend, and I love her dearly.
Here's my thing. When she says, you know, she couldn't even answer, if y'all noticed that. She couldn't even really answer. You know, when they say, listen, do you think that you wanted to be friends with the other women so bad that you may have overlooked? And then when she said, when Doug said, you know, she met with Reba, your mom, and she says, I also met with Garcelle's family. That was different. You didn't go to Garcelle's family, I don't think, from what I'm having conversations about how Garcelle feels about them. And how Doug said that just proves the point that you were the one closest to her. And when she said that I hope to have a conversation with Garcelle in private, I understand that. When you're friends, become friends, good friends on these shows, not everything is for public. However, with this, I do feel like it would almost, if I was Garcelle, the way I would imagine I would feel, because I don't know, right? I'm not in that position. But if this happened to me and I was feeling some type of way about you just leaving me out to dry in front of these people when I've always had your back, and now you want to have a conversation about it in private, and I'm no longer on the show, that's an easy out for you, because you don't have to have a conversation with me on a show and then stand by my side on the show when, if these other women are coming at me who you want to be friends with. You don't have to, you're not going to be put in that situation. So now you get to have a conversation with me privately and say all the things about how we're good friends, how the other ladies may have been wrong. You can say all that to me privately without fear of the other ladies getting upset with you, the ladies who you want to be friends with. So it seems like an easy out for me. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think it kind of does. That's how it comes across to me. The fact that she couldn't even take accountability and say, you know what, I let her down. I realize now that I let her down. I didn't realize it before, but looking back, I see that I let her down in that moment, or something, anything. But I met with her family too. And it just, you know, again, I like how Doug and Jeff and even the other host, I don't know his name, but asked, you know, when's the last time you talked to her? Oh, what was that conversation like? So we see that when faced with pointed questions, she's not able to always, or doesn't want to always answer. But y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm really concerned is not the word, but I do wonder how it's going to be for her next season if they don't bring a friend in for her, like a full time. How is that? Is she going to be able to handle that? Like mentally, not even being funny, like all jokes aside, but is she even going to be able to deal with all that? Especially if all the ladies are coming back. Y'all heard the casting rumors, right? Let's get into, I thought I wasn't even going to get into that, but since we are talking about Beverly Hills, this is, according to Reality Blurb, this was on May 6th. Weeks after the conclusion of the 3-part reunion for season 14, production is gearing up for the start of filming on the new episodes and has allegedly handed out contracts to all the returning women, offering one particular cast member a big incentive to step it up. They said it was a question mark whether, for the longest time, but Kyle is coming back. Producers offered her a big incentive to come back, so she is, a production insider revealed to the U.S. Sun on May 5th. She's had long talks with production about what she's willing and not willing to show. She knows basically she has to step it up next season. I do believe Kyle's coming back because she recently did an interview where she said she's sad that Garcelle's not going to be coming back and joining them. So, Kyle said she's showing as much as she can without hurting those around her, but fans want to see more of her personal life, which includes her dating life. Then, in addition to Kyle, Dorit Kemsley has reportedly been welcomed back to the cast in a full-time role, as have Sutton, Stracke, Erica Jane, and Bose, despite untrue rumors suggesting Erica was unfired. There will also allegedly be 1 or 2 new names added to the show to make up for the absence of Garcelle Beauvais and potentially amp up ratings. As for the series friends, Kathy and Jennifer, their potential roles on season 15 were not addressed. There are absolutely going to be changes to the current cast, some of which will shock fans. Another source revealed to OK Magazine. A main cast member is going to be let go, a friend of is going to be cut, and another person is going to be downgraded to a friend. At least that's the current word on the street. That was last week. But this week, they're saying all of the main cast ladies are added back. They're going to also add back 2 ladies, and they didn't mention the friend of roles. So it'll be interesting to see that also. Kyle telling them what she will and won't discuss. Does that go? Is she going to have that same grace? Is she going to give that same grace to her other cast members? Or is it going to be honest? Just be honest. Because we know how that goes. Right? Y'all let me know what y'all think. Did y'all enjoy I don't think I've ever asked y'all. Did y'all enjoy this past season of Beverly Hills? Was it like fluff watching? Like, you know what? It's not too deep. The arguments aren't too surface. They're not making me cringe. So I was fine with it. And I'm waiting for the next season. Who would y'all like to see? I know I've seen people say Kimora Lee Simmons, but then I've heard other people say no because of the mess with, you know, how the mess that was going on with her kids and Russell and all that back and forth online a couple of years ago. And they feel like that would bring a heaviness to the show. Some have said, I've seen some people say Vivica Fox, which I would live. But the thing is, does she have authentic connections to any of these women? But we don't know. Who knows who? Is there any, are there 2 women that y'all would like to see that may have a bit of a connection with these women? And did y'all see Lisa Vanderpump's interview where she talked about Kyle? They brought up Kyle said she was buying the house across the street from her. And Lisa said, that's not true. She knows the realtor. Her offer wasn't accepted. I said, where's the realtor? I need to know if this was who lying, who telling the truth. Either way, y'all let me know what y'all think about the Doechii of it all, the Beverly Hills of it all. And also, I'm going to go ahead and mention this, child, just because we hear. This is according to the Jasmine brand. Mia Thornton wants y'all to know that what was shown about her was a false reality. She did several tweets. The first one, I'm holding myself accountable, not blaming production or anyone else. What aired was a false reality shaped by someone who was hurting and chose to hurt me in return. One who admitted it was done intentionally. It's all so clear. However, healing starts with honesty with myself first. So it's interesting, that first line, I'm holding myself accountable, not blaming production or anyone else, goes into what aired was a false reality shaped by someone who was hurting and chose to hurt me in return. So she's talking about G, number 1. Number 2, she said she's not blaming herself. I mean, she's not blaming anybody else. She's holding herself accountable. But then she says what was aired was a false reality that was shaped by somebody else. Is that blaming them? Is that turning around and placing blame on someone? Or is it just stating facts, right? Sometimes when we talk about these reality show people, and then even people in general, we're like, apologize without saying but, without saying if. Sometimes, though, an explanation is needed for clarification. Sometimes it's not. And with this, is she giving an explanation as to why we saw what she saw, or is she still blaming someone else? Because to me, that would mean you film something and then Is she trying to say someone told the story differently? Moving on to the second tweet. Being called a liar by people who don't know the full truth is painful, but I've learned not to internalize someone else's misunderstanding or projection. I know my truth. I stand on it. Time reveals everything. And one last thought, leaving isn't always a loss. Sometimes it's the beginning of your greatest blessing. I've learned that when I walk away from what no longer serves me, God makes room for what truly honors me. There is power in release and even more in obedience. I'm not even saying this to be mean, whatever, although I've had my feelings and thoughts about Mia. At the end of the day, she is a human person, right? I do think she's making sure to do, and listen, who says I wouldn't do the same, right? But I do think she's doing these interviews and making sure she's stopping by all these outlets to make sure she stays in the public eye, because ultimately that's what she wants, to be in the public eye. I don't know if she said she's not blaming production, but her reality, it was a false reality shaped by somebody who was upset with her. Again, you talking Gordon or somebody behind the camera, somebody on the production team? I don't know. I hope that Mia goes and lives and thrives and enjoys her life wherever she lands. And I truly mean that, for her kids, for her family, for her to be at peace. I just hope it's not on RHOA. Okay, but some people may differ. Who knows? But y'all let me know what y'all think about everything that we discussed. Say a prayer for your girl. Y'all, I'm about to take my little handheld mic and just start interviewing people in my car. Yesterday, I had 2 people in my car that wanted to talk about the Housewives because I was listening to YouTube conversations about the Housewives. And I was like, I enjoyed the conversation. So actually, it was 2 days in a row. I had people. Of course, the subject was Atlanta, y'all. When I tell y'all these people had their thoughts, I wish I had my little mic to pass it back. All right, what do you think about Angela? What you had said about Portia? What you had said about Shamia? Like about Kelly? About Britt? Y'all? About Kenya? So some of those conversations, the people have interesting thoughts. I will say that. So I said I'm gonna start taking my mic and be like, all right, do you consent? All right, boom. Tell me what you just said. Say what you just said. But y'all say a prayer for your girl. Love y'all, and I will talk to y'all later. Again, let me know what y'all think. Is Mia blaming the people? Child, who knows? Let me know what y'all think about Sutton. And are you excited? Because for some people, RHOBH is still their favorite franchise. What y'all think about the upcoming season? Do y'all think Erica should be full-time again, or do y'all think she should be bumped down to friend of or not a part of the show? And I do wonder if they're offering Dorit a contract back, because Ronald Richards, an attorney, we know child, he be in these Beverly Hills streets because he be on Erica's behind with her case. He was looking at the court documents and reveals that Dorit and PK may ultimately lose their home. I may come back with a video about that a little later. Actually, you know what? We here. Hold on. I should have had that pulled up. I didn't even think about that. So we do know that they were on the verge of foreclosure, but paid $300,000, right, to save the home. Now, it looks like, so the couple purchased their $8 million home under Dorit's LLC, but now the Franchise Tax Board, which collects state taxes in California, has suspended the LLC. The suspension puts the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star home in danger of foreclosure. At the center of the investigation is LA attorney Ronald Richards, whom you might remember from the case of Erica Jane and her $750,000 earrings. Y'all, when I tell you he was on Erica's behind like back pockets on jeans. Ronald posted copies of documents on Twitter showing that the RHOBH star's LLC is not in good standing. With the LLC being suspended, it is most likely a loan default. Ronald told the U.S. Sun earlier this week. For the FTB to suspend in the LLC, PK and Dorit have not paid taxes or filed returns for a while. A lender can default for non-monetary violations like non-payment of property taxes, or if the entity is suspended. I did not know that. I thought it was, I thought a default was just straight up monetary, like you ain't paid your mortgage. I didn't know all these other things. There are many covenants to a loan besides making the payments on time. In November 2024, it was revealed that the home was in pre-foreclosure. At the time, Dorit and PK were more than 4 months behind on their home payments, which we know. However, property records show that that default notice has since been rescinded. So maybe they're inviting Dorit back to watch that fall apart online to see what happens with that. That could be, you know, production can be a little messy. And we got her divorce this season, next season, it could be the fallout, things coming out, skeletons, bones popping out the closet. So I guess we'll see. Y'all let me know what y'all think. And let me know what y'all think about Doechii. Was she just the girl who needed an umbrella? Love y'all. Again, pray for me out in these streets. Drink 2 bottles of water. Eat a piece of fruit, child, or a cup full of vegetables. Talk to y'all later. See ya.